Hi there. If you're an Indian accountant looking to crack into the US market, there is something important you should know. Most of the work in the US is created during the tax season. Not because filing returns is complex or hard, but because businesses are forced to look at their numbers under tight deadlines. When these tax deadlines approaches, these businesses suddenly discover all the problems they've been ignoring all year. Their bank balance does not match with the accounting software. If your business is an e-commerce business, then the marketplace payout reports don't match with your bank reports or your books of accounts for that matter. Sales tax numbers don't make any sense. And other aspects like fees, refunds, and chargebacks are not booked properly. These problems are really prominent in the e-commerce industry, especially if your business sells on marketplaces like Amazon or Shopify, etc. Why? Because these platforms pay your business in batches. They don't pay in a linear way where they just calculate the sales, subtract the expenses, and give them the net amount. That's not how it works. And if these batched transactions are not reconciled regularly, the business's books becomes unreliable. And companies realize this mistake when they send their books of accounts to the CPAs to file their tax, and the CPA returns it back to the business saying that their books of accounts are not clean or ready to file taxes. Companies desperately need your help cleaning these books of accounts, and one such way you can help the company is by reconciling the transactions between marketplaces like Amazon, Shopify, and other marketplaces and your company's books of accounts. And in this video, we're going to be learning how to do just that. So to do this, you simply need three things. Number one, the company's bank statement. Number two, the company's marketplace reports, either from Shopify or Amazon. Number three, the company's accounting software. That is it. Now let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and show you how this is done. So first up, this is how your settlement reports from Amazon looks like. It has the settlement ID, date on which the settlement was processed, date on which the money was actually deposited in the company's account, the transaction type, order ID, when it was posted in the statement, the product that was sold, quantity, the different amounts in currency. Similarly, you can get the same thing for Shopify as well. Shopify gives you a payout ID, and the payout date is also mentioned, order ID is mentioned, and all the other details like what was the gross sales, what was the refund amount, shipping amount, what was the tax collected by the marketplace, and your net payout is also mentioned. Now, the second document you'll require is the bank statement from your business, obviously. Again, we've got the Shopify transactions, Amazon transactions, and other transactions that your business had during the same period. Now, your first step is to reconcile your client company's bank account with these two settlement reports. Let's say we are reconciling the Amazon settlement report first. Just filter Amazon transactions alone first. Just select the whole thing, click on sort and filter. Now you can click on description and choose the Amazon settlements that you see, just Amazon. We only have two transactions from Amazon. Okay, perfect. Now this is your bank statement. Coming to your Amazon settlement report, here you will have to check three things. Number one, you will have to check whether the settlement ID that you see in row A is matching with the bank's settlement ID. The second thing you'll have to see is deposit date. Is the deposit date matching the bank's deposit date? And the third thing is the price, of course, right? So Amazon has made two transactions with the company, right? One on the 18th of January and the other on 4th of February. In the bank account, it's reflected as one transaction, while in reality, on the 18th of January, Amazon has made around 61 transactions. We'll have to check whether all these 61 transactions have the same settlement ID, same deposit date, and whether the sum of all these 61 transactions is matching with what's given in the bank statement. So all these 61 transactions have the same settlement ID, A1001. All right, we've got 61 transactions, and all these 61 transactions are there on the same date, on 18th January 2025. Now, all that's left for us to do is to calculate the sum of all these amounts, all the 61 transactions amounts, and check whether it matches the bank statement amount. I'm just going to select all the 61 cells And the sum is mentioned over here. Sum is $494.07. Now we have to check whether or not our bank statement shows a credit of $494.07 on 18th January. 18th January, it shows $494.07. Perfect. It matches. Now coming to the second transaction, which is A1002. The next 62 transactions are A1002, and the amount for these transactions were posted in Amazon's account on the 4th of February 2025. And the third thing we'll have to check is the amount. Just select all these transactions, and the sum is $671.65. Just go back to your statement and make sure that the date is correct, the settlement ID is correct, and the third is amount $671.65 is credited. Now we've checked for Amazon. The second thing you'll have to check is Shopify, because our business functions both in Shopify and Amazon. Click on this filter icon, deselect Amazon and click on Shopify and click on OK. Now we only have the Shopify payouts given over here. Go to the Shopify report. It's very simple. Shopify has made payouts on 6 different dates: 5th January, 10th January, 15th January, 20th January, 25th January, and 5th February. All right. So we have 6 transactions here, which are to be checked against our bank statement. But here, if you notice, Shopify doesn't mention the payout ID like Amazon does. So you can check against the date and the net payout. All right. So on the 5th January 2025, there has been a payout of $1,132. Again, on the 5th January over here, we have a payout credit of $132. Similarly, on the 10th January, we have $591.97. 10th January, $591.97. Then on the 15th January, we have $1,518.96. 15th January, $1,518.96, so on and so forth. I'm just going to quickly check if all the transactions are there. Perfect. 20th January is checked. 25th January is $1,536. And then 5th February is $731.78. It's all there. Perfect. Now our market settlement report and bank statement is reconciled. But when you upload your bank statement onto your accounting software, it's still going to show all these transactions as individual transactions, right? I'm going to select all again to make the bank statement regular. Cool. It's going to show it as individual transactions. In this example, Shopify is still fine because the Shopify report and the bank account transactions match. But when you take Amazon, the settlement report shows entries for each and every transaction. The bank statement shows you the sum total of all the transactions happened on a specific date. But when we add it in our books of accounts, instead of adding it as a single transaction worth $494.07 of credit, we account for each and every entry like what you see on the screen, right? How do you go from here? It's very simple. You have to go on your accounting software. Let's say the accounting software you're using is Xero. I'm just going to go to Xero and I am going to do manual journal entry for each and every split up of my transaction. How do you do this? Go on to Xero, click on reporting, all reports. Now you search for journal report, click on go to manual journals, go to import. And here Xero has a downloadable template that you can fill up and post it on Xero. Just click on download template and it'll give you the template you can fill up. Now, the best part is you don't have to fill out anything. You can have AI do this part for you. You can go to Claude.ai or ChatGPT for that matter. Upload both the files that I showed you right now, which is the manual journal and the settlement report and bank statement together. And write a simple prompt, which is I have attached bank statement, settlement reports from Amazon and Shopify, and a manual journal entry template from Xero. Fill this manual journal up as per the transactions mentioned in the settlement report and bank statement. Click on enter. That is it. Claude will understand both the settlement report and the manual journal entry, see what entries are to be mentioned, and give us the entries that we require. See, Claude's already done with our journal entry. We've got the settlement ID, the description, account code, tax is exempt apparently, and everything else is mentioned as well. All I'll have to do is download this Excel, go back to my Xero, and import it over here. Okay, and click on import. Imported manual journal, 22 new draft journals will be imported, etc., etc. Click on complete import. Now, would you look at that? Everything that we had in our bank statement, including the Shopify payout and Amazon payouts, are all added. Let's quickly open the Amazon settlement that we see here. Now, this is the second transaction that happened with Amazon on the 4th February. See, A1002. Transaction that's mentioned in your bank account is just the net payout, which is 671.65. We have it there. Net payout received is 671.65. But we have to account for everything that's mentioned here, right? Including item price, commission, refunds, monthly storage, current reserves, everything. Guess what? When you uploaded the statement and report and manual journal entry template onto AI found out the sum of all the seller fees, storage fees, which is nothing but seller fees is nothing but commission, storage fees, refunds, everything, and it's given the calculations for that as well. So now your books of accounts will match the Amazon settlement report or Shopify settlement report that you get from these marketplaces. All that's left for you to do is choose an account. So your net payout will be sale of goods, which will come under revenue. Your Amazon seller fees will be cost of goods sold. Storage fee again will go under cost of goods sold. Customer refunds will go under refunds or miscellaneous expenses. Okay, miscellaneous is something I see. Amazon reserve held will be an accounts receivable because at some point Amazon will give this money to you. So I'm going to search for, okay, other receivable sounds fine. Gross sales revenue again is sale of goods. All right, that is it. Now all that's left for you to do is post. Manual journal entry is posted. Perfect. Now you can just view it over here. If you made a mistake in any of these entries and you want to edit something, you can go to journal options and click on edit. And that is about it. Now, the next thing you will have to do is upload your bank statements to Xero for you to reconcile your bank statements with your books of accounts. Now, when you're manually importing your bank statements with Xero, there is a specific format you have to follow. Again, do you have to worry about preparing a whole other bank statement? Absolutely not. Just click on the Xero bank statement template, go back to Claude, upload the template that you just downloaded from Xero along with your bank statement and say, I have attached my bank statement and bank statement template from Xero. Fill it up, fill the template up as per my bank statement for me to upload and reconcile transactions. That's it. You sit and have Xero do all the filling up work and you just go and you just reconcile your statements once it's done. That's it. Our bank statement is done. I'm just going to download it from here, go back to Xero, select the file and import it. Okay, click on next. Click on next again. Complete import. All the 22 transactions that we have in our bank statement is mentioned. Now, all that's left for you to do is reconciling the same. Okay. Now, let's say you have to reconcile the Shopify payout transaction. All you have to do is write the name of the contact, which is Shopify. What's the account? This is your payout from Shopify. So what is this? It's your sale of goods. Write a description, goods sold on Shopify, and give the date maybe, which is 5th Jan. On 5th Jan 2025. Click on OK. That's it. Your transaction is reconciled. Now, if you see between certain transactions, you already see OK. This is nothing but Xero automatically finding the transactions which are reconciling with your bank statement, letting you know that I've already found the match. So all you have to do is click on OK. click on OK. Again, see, for all Shopify transactions, it's done. But if you're unable to find a match for a transaction, I showed you how you can reconcile those statements as well. Now, what to do if certain transactions don't match? All you have to do is find the transaction that is not matching. Is it a reserve or hold that's not matching with your bank statement? In that case, you have to carry forward it. If it's a refund transaction that's not matching your bank statement, you record it for now and wait till the refund hits your bank account. If it's something about fees, holding fee, clearance fee, settlement, holding fee, marketplace fee, settlement fee, whatever it is, you can record it as an expense. And if it's a reimbursement that's not matching your bank statement, you can track it for later. But what if you're unable to figure out what's not matching? If I just told you that if it's a reserve, a refund, fees, or reimbursement, this is what you have to do. But if it's something that you can't identify, you can record it in your suspense account and inform the CPA that this is what happened. Now, well and good, you learned a high in demand skill wherein you're reconciling marketplace reports with bank statement and ultimately with your company's books of accounts. But how do you find clients that require this? Here's where you can use accelerators out there. Accelerators are nothing but websites that have a list of different companies' details in it. You can choose the business of your choice and reach out to them with this service. The accelerator I'm going to show you today is called Techstars. Just go on Google and type Techstars. The first link that pops up, that's the one for you. This is what the homepage looks like. Go to startups and go to portfolio. Now over here, you will see a list of companies that's listed with Techstars. But who are we targeting right now? We are targeting companies in the US that belong to the e-commerce industry, the ones that are in US. Would you look at that? We've got all the e-commerce companies that are there in the US listed on Techstars. Okay. Let's say you want to reach out to TimeHop, which is a New York based e commerce company. How do I reach out to them? See, I've got their website over here, LinkedIn, Crunchbase, Twitter, all the socials are linked over here. Just go on LinkedIn. We have TimeHop's LinkedIn here. Just click on message, select a topic, it can be others, and send them a simple message. Now you might ask me, what message can I send them? Don't worry, I have a sample message for you as well. You can send them this message. Hi, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to reach out to you because I know how time consuming it can be to reconcile Amazon statements, Shopify payouts, and bank transactions every month, especially when you'd rather focus on growing your business. I'm offering a streamlined service where I do all these things: statement reconciliation, bank statement formatting, monthly ad spending, and expense tracking, etc. Why does it matter? Because clean books, you also tell them why it matters, because clean books mean fewer surprises at tax time and it'll save so much of your time and energy. I'd love to chat. Give me 15 minutes and you will get on a call with them. This is a solid message you can send them and it's customized to e-commerce companies, so it's good to go. Now, I want to show you another way you can find e-commerce companies, which is through ChatGPT itself. Just go to chatgpt.com and say, give me a list of 20 e-commerce businesses along with their email IDs, LinkedIn, and website if it's publicly available, located in the US, considered small to mid-sized in terms of size, and sells its products or services on Amazon Marketplace. Or you can also write Amazon and Shopify Marketplace if you want. So instead of you going on a platform like Techstars and finding out companies, ChatGPT will do the search for you and give you companies that you can reach out to. Now, I've given 20 e-commerce businesses. I can ask ChatGPT to find me 50 or 100, but I suggest you do it in small batches. So you can ask for 20 companies at once and then have it generate 20 more or 30 more, so on and so forth. Now, ChatGPT has given me a list of 20 e-commerce businesses in the US that's considered small to mid-sized. Now, why are we asking for small to mid-sized companies? Because bigger companies already have big accounting firms working for them. Smaller companies are more likely to respond because they require all the help that they can get. Okay, so we've got Nomad Goods along with their website. See, and LinkedIn as well, along with their email ID. So you can reach out to them the same way we reached out to TimeHop from Techstars, send them a message, and you're good to go. You have 20 such leads. Imagine reaching out to 20 e-commerce companies and telling them that I'm going to help you solve probably one of the most biggest problems that's holding your tax filings back, and see how they respond. Do try this out and try finding companies from different directories and using AI as well. And let us know what you found. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.